For certain types of events, you may need to stagger your participant starts, whether that's because your event has a high number of participants and you want to make sure that you're not sending 5,000 people all out on the course at once, or maybe you have a course style event like mud races where you can only have 10 people out on course at a certain time. In those scenarios where essentially you want to stagger participant starts, we recommend using RunSignup's Corral feature to be able to collect that participant data. Now to set up corrals, head over to your race dashboard and select Race Day Tools, Corrals, and Set Up Corrals. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to build out our corrals. Once we've built out our corrals, we'll then set up how we are going to be assigning these corrals. So we'll select Corral Builder, and we'll go ahead and select the Add New Corral button. So in today's video, we're going to walk you through two types of corrals that you can build in RunSignup. One is based off of what the participants think their estimated finish time is going to be, and the other is going to be based off of corral start time. So in our first example, we're going to be building a couple of corrals based off of estimated participant finish time. So in our example here, we have a marathon, half marathon, and 5K. We're just going to create corrals for just the marathon, but if you are needing corrals for each of your events, you'll just want to make sure that you are building all of the corrals for each of your events, whether that's one corral for two events, or if you need to separate out corrals for each specific event. So in our example here, we've got a marathon. Let's say the marathon starts at 7 a.m. So we'll name this corral 7 a.m. and the corral start time is going to be 7 a.m. And then below that, we're going to enter in the minimum and maximum finish time for males and females that will put them into this 7 a.m. corral. So oftentimes for larger races, you would want your faster runners up front. And so in this case, if we say, let's say to run in the 7 a.m. corral as a male, you have to enter in an estimated finish time between 2 hours and let's say 2:30. And for the women to get into the 7 a.m. corral time, let's say you have to run 2 hours and 9 minutes to 2 hours and 40 minutes. And you can set a max number of participants, but in our scenario, we want our corrals to be solely based off of how fast runners are going to be running. So if we save this and we go to assignment options, the first thing we want to turn on is ask for estimated finish time during registration. You can set up custom requirements like the minimum allowed finish time and the max allowed finish time. You can also set up verification to finish times quicker than 2:10 for a male and maybe 2:15 for female. Meaning if someone enters in as a male, 2:05, there'll be some verification process that has to go on. And if a female enters in 2:10, similar thing. If you keep scrolling down, what we'll want to do is automatically assign corral based off of estimated finish time. So RunSignup is going to automatically put participants into the specific corral based on whatever time they enter as their estimated finish time. And we'll go ahead and save that. And so now when participants register, we'll register here a female, and we'll register for the marathon. And if we put in, let's say 2:15 for her estimated finish time, and we go ahead and complete the registration. Once the participant completes the registration, under the registrants area, if they click on the down arrow, they'll see that they were automatically put into this 7 a.m. corral that we just built out. And this was based off of their estimated finish time. And then on the back end, if you go into corral reports, you'll see that we now have one participant in that corral. And this is super useful if you have, especially for larger marathons, you may have corrals going for 2-3 hours. So you can set up multiple corrals, and you can set up different estimated finish times that they'll enter to be able to automatically plug people into whichever corral they need to be in based on how fast they're going to be running. Now, in the rare instance where you need to have a male corral and a female corral, let's say in some cases you may have your elite female set off all together at once and you have your elite male set off together at a separate time, you may want to create two separate corrals. elite female, and elite male. In those cases, if you also want to create those corrals using the estimated finish time, if we have an elite female corral, you just want to leave your male min and max estimated finish time blank and put in a female time. And basically that'll say any females that have a time entered between this min and this max will be put into this elite female. So as you can see here, if we have our elite male corral here, we would just put in a min and max time for the male side. We would leave the female side blank, and that'll only put males into that corral. Again, this is probably not going to be used too often. This is really, oftentimes you're really only seeing this separation at the highest of levels, the biggest of the big marathons out there in the world. In our next example, we're going to show you how to set up corrals based off of start times. So again, these are probably going to be used for like mud races where every 10 minutes you'll have a group of people setting off and going onto the course. They're not going to be specifically based off of ability, just more or less separating out how many people can be out on the course at once. So if we head back into our corral builder and we select add new corral, let's have a corral every 5 minutes starting at 7. So we'll create a 7 o'clock corral and a 7:05 corral and a 7:10 corral in our example. And in this case, we are going to set the max number of participants. So we'll go ahead and say we can only have a max of 10 participants in each corral. And for the sake of differentiating from what we just did, we'll assign this to the 5K. We're not going to ask for an estimated finish time, so we can leave that totally blank. And then we'll go ahead and create a new corral. This is going to be our 7:05 a.m. corral. Similar, we'll have 10 people and for the 5K. And you would continue this process for all the corrals that you would need. So we're only going to set up 2 corrals, but if you have corrals for an hour every 5 minutes, you would want to go ahead and create all these corrals. And once you're done, you can go ahead and select save. Now going back into assignment options, if we scroll down to the 5K event, we're not going to ask for an estimated finish time since this corral is based off of start time. And we're not going to automatically assign corral based on estimated finish time, but we are going to require participants to select their own corral. So we'll go ahead and check that on and save that. So now if we go ahead and register for the 5K, and let's register 2 people. And when they get to the corral selector portion of the registration, they'll just come in here and select the corral that they want to run in. Again, in these cases, they'll probably be trying to run with their friends or family. So that's kind of why we are allowing all the registrants to select the corrals. So let's say Joel and Mary here, they're running together. They're going to run at the 7 a.m. corral. And maybe 2 of their friends are registering themselves separately. They'll just want to make sure they tell their friends and family, hey, we registered for the 7 a.m. corral, so go ahead and register quickly before the spots are all taken away.
Now, as you can see here, it says 7 a.m.-7 a.m. That's not saying from the time to the time. That's because we wrote 7 a.m. as the title of this corral, and then 7 a.m. as the start time. So if you want, you can give these corrals different names, like Blue Group, Orange Group, and maybe on race day you'll have flags out there that say this is where the Blue Group meets. Then if we refresh this page, you could see those corrals have the specific name followed by the time that it starts.
Once they do this and they select their corral, they can just continue and complete the registration, and then the system will put them into that specific corral. So if we go back into the corral setup and you select corral reports, you can see the number of people that have registered for each specific corral from each specific event. Now, another thing that you can do in addition to viewing this corral report is in your participant report, you can customize the view by going to report options, customize view, and pick from all columns, and then include the corral column in your participant report, so that you can see, all the corrals that the participants have been either assigned or that they've selected. And if you need to edit their corral, you can go ahead and select the edit button from their participant page. And then if you scroll down a bit, you can change their corral from one to another.